right. Shalom, shalom. All right. First and foremost, I'd like to give all thanks, glory, honor, and praise to the supreme power, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone. Peace and salutation to all the Akim out there doing the works in sincerity and truth through the four winds. Shalom to the few sisters watching and learning. Stay strong, remain humble. This is the brother Kaza one from the GMS Bahamas Nassau camp. Back at you with another lesson. Lord's willing, this lesson be edifying, which means to be built up through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. You know. And this lesson, as you can see, is from an article from Eyewitness News, one of the leading news frontier in the Bahamas. All right, this was published October 26th of this year. All right, the article reads, it says that the Bahamas import-reliant economic model exasperating global inflation impact. All right, and the word exacerbate is to exacerbate means to get worse or to make worse. All right, so in short, this heading is saying that the Bahamas, the importation of the Bahamas or the reliance on importation of goods in the Bahamas is making the economy worse through global inflation, right? So I just want to get a few precepts to drive my point home, because the Bahamas, we are an extension or a province of Babylon, you might as well call it, all right? But unofficially, you know what I mean? Because if Babylon catch a cold, Babylon being aka America, if Babylon catch a cold, all right, we catch the fever. Or if they sneeze, we catch the cold. You understand? We follow step by step everything that they do, as we could have seen through the pandemic. All right, when Babylon was on high alert, we was on high alert. When Babylon dropped the mandates, we dropped the mandates. All right. 90% of the imports in the Bahamas, all right, come from, I wouldn't say come from Babylon, because we use other parts of the world, but the vast majority, I'd say like almost 80 to 85% comes directly from Babylon. All right. We don't even grow our own food here. We import food. The foods that we grow, we ship to Babylon, and Babylon ships it back here. So we are totally reliant, basically, on that beast system. All right, and we've been independent from 1973. That's years. All right, we just finished celebrating 50 years, so-called 50 years of independence, even though we know that we ain't in no damn independence, right? We know we still in slavery. You know what I mean? Just not indirectly. Okay? But I can get a little bit of this article. I can read a little bit of this article and try to bring out some precepts to drive my point home. Okay, Lord's willing, this lesson be edifying. All right, because the Bahamas been independent for 50 years, and we still haven't gotten off of that model, you know, dependence on so-called massa, dependence on Babylon. We haven't had, our leaders haven't had the vision, all right, to feed themselves, to create a economy, you know what I mean, where you don't have to be self-reliant on other countries. The reason being, they're hirelings, all right, they're basically puppets of the system. All right, they sign on to the beast system, you know what I mean, they get fed a little bit of crumbs, or they get a bag or two, all right, just to keep the poor and desolate down, you know what I mean, to continue to oppress the people. All right, and this is only for you so-called Native Americans, Negroes, and Latinos. All right, and the speckled birds scattered across the four winds, because this thing don't go with skin color or looks. All right, if your descendants go back to Abraham, Jacob, and Isaac, chances are that you are Israelite. Listen, chances are, Salakia, you are an Israelite. All right. All right. Without further ado, let me bring up the article. The article says that the Bahamas import-reliant economic model exacerbating global inflation impact. It reads, the Bahamas import-reliant economic model has exacerbated the import of global inflation, Prime Minister Philip Brave Davis said yesterday. Philip Brave Davis being the Malak, being the modern-day king of the Bahamas, the Prime Minister. It says he noted that the government's efforts thus far have not been sufficient to mitigate historically high levels of global inflation during his contribution to the debate from the speech from the throne. Davis noted that the Bahamas' high cost of living has placed a strain on families and businesses for decades. Like I tell you, the Bahamas been independent for 50 years now, all right? And they haven't had the vision to let go Masahan yet, all right? They haven't had the vision to create their own economy, to create, their own wealth, all right? To create better living conditions for the people. But the reason for that is because our present prime minister and prime ministers and leaders of the past, they all were hirelings of the beast system, hirelings of AKA Babylon. All right, they were hired. All right, to keep their foot upon our neck, to keep the oppressive nature. All right, of Esau on our neck. Okay, they ain't no good. Let me read that piece again. It says, Davis noted that the Bahamas' high cost of living has placed a strain on businesses and families for decades. You're damn right. All right. The Bahamas is the fourth most expensive place in the world to live. All right, and we only have 500,000 people, and we are an archipelago of 700 islands and keys, and we have all kind of natural resources. So there's no way that everybody should be living hand to mouth, paycheck to paycheck, wondering if you're going to eat or keep a roof over your head. It shouldn't be like that. All right, but this is all by design because we're still in slavery. We're still enslaved to the white man. You know? All right. It says, unfortunately, the recent global infiltration crisis caused by the Crown Royal pandemic and the Russia-Ukraine war has worsened already a bad situation. All right, they blaming everything on this, but this been going on for 50 years. What happened to the other 50 years? What happened to the other 49 years or so, or 45 years or so? What happened to that? All right. You know what? Let me go on precept because our leaders over here are full of shit. You know what I mean? This is the book of, what are you looking for? Proverbs. This book of Proverbs, chapter 29 and 2. That's what you're looking for. No. Salakia. Proverbs. Proverbs 29 and 2. It reads, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rules, the people mourn. All right? Going back to our leaders. All right? When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. We know the wicked, according to the Bible, all right, it's a so-called white man, Esau, Edom. All right? But two-thirds of our people almost exceed the wicked. All right? And this is including our so-called leaders here in these Caribbean nations, all right? They take bribes. They're hirelings of Esau, meaning that they're basically mercenaries from money, all right? They turn their back on their own people, all right, for monetary gain. You understand? So as we can see, the wicked in authority right now, all right, because if you do a scale of nations, to see who on the top and who to the bottom, a so-called food chain per se. You see that the so-called white man is on top. He calling the shots, all right? And our so-called leaders or prime ministers or members of parliament or governments who our people love so much, all right, and they give their all to, all right? They're only puppets of these so-called governments, so-called puppets of the so-called white man. You understand? Say, but when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn, and guess what? The people are mourning right now, especially over here in the Bahamas. You know what I mean? They make it look. They just finished bragging about, tourism and everything being up, and the hotel occupancy is up or whatever. But we ain't feeling the money's not trickling down. Everybody's still crying. One more pandemic inside the Bahamas will shut the Bahamas down. All right, will bring the Bahamas to its knees. One more pandemic, I would say, or one more lockdown for, let's say, 3 months, all right, will completely finish the Bahamas. You understand? So let me read this part here again. It says, unfortunately, the recent global inflation crisis caused by the COVID-19 pandemic and the Russia-Ukraine war has worsened an already bad situation. The administration took action by lowering customs duties. That's what they say now. That's what they say they do to try to help the people, but I can give you the sidetrack on this. The administration said that it took action to lower the customs duties, lowering overall value-added tax rate, and ramping up price control enforcement. But this was not enough to offset historically high global inflation, said Davis. All right, he said he do these things, right? He said he lowered customs duties, he lowered the VAT tax, and he ramped up price control. All right, but doing all of this, all right, they went up almost 200% on our light bill. So the money that we was getting back or saving back, all right, we throwing it right back to the power company. All right, so that's the trick that these governments do. All right, they do basically a sleight of hand. You understand? All right, they wicked. You know what I mean? So you can't mind them, but they say like they trying to do these things. All right, because guess what? They know that they have to pay the tax to Esau. All right, they have to bring that cotton. They have to show Esau a certain quota, cotton, so to speak. You know what I mean? All right. So the second precept I want to get Isaiah, because all these leaders in all these Caribbean nations, all right, with either bowing down to Babylon or bowing down to Britain or France, you know what I mean? Because they have Satan parts of Esau controlling Satan districts. You understand? All the leaders full of shit. You understand? All right. So this is the book of Isaiah. Looking for 9 and 16, Salakia. Book of Isaiah 9 and 16. There it is. It reads, "For the leaders of this people cause them to err." All right. For the leaders of these people cause them to go off. You understand? Because with these increased taxes and with these increased hikes and these rates and on the people, force the people to do all type of nonsense. That's why the crime rate so high. Because people living from hand to mouth, ends to ends. All right, the crime rate high. People got to do anything. They're trying to do basically anything to survive right now. You know what I mean? They say they're providing jobs, but these are menial jobs. All right, minimum wage paying jobs. All right, or jobs that have a certain length. And when that certain length over, when that contractual job's over, then there's nothing to do again. All right. For the leaders of this people cause them to err, and they that are led of them are destroyed. And that's what's happening to our people. Bad leadership cause the people to be destroyed. All right. These people don't have no time for the Most High Power Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. All right. All they know about is tourism, being subservient to the white man. All right, being subservient to massa. Yes sir, no sir, boss. You see what they saying? You know what I mean? Get a little bit more in the article. It says, hey, it's not right. Okay. It says, it is the lower income Bahamians who struggle the most. That's right. All right, the poor and desolate, because guess what? Our leaders ain't struggling. I tell you one thing, they living high off the hog. All right, it says it's the lower income Bahamians who struggle the most. It is a short period of time. It has become much more difficult for them to make ends meet. While we cannot put an end to global inflation, we can take action domestically in areas where it is possible to make a difference. A lot of hot air he talking about. We know who's suffering, because like I said, the elites or the 1%ers of the society over here in the Bahamas, they ain't suffering. All right, they making money hand over fist. All right, it's just the poor of you so-called Native Americans, Negroes, and Latinos over here in the Bahamas. You so-called Negroes. All right, because we have Benjamin and Levi, a lot of Benjamin and Levi over here, but we mix. I could say we mix over here in the Bahamas also. But it's only the poor that is feeling the pinch right now. All right. It says that the Prime Minister acknowledged that the Bahamas has an economy that is heavily dependent on imports, namely foods, goods, equipments, and oil. Basically everything. Like I said, 90% of our goods are imported over here in the Bahamas. All right, and he coming out and saying it right now. He feeling that pressure because the Bahamas can't get off with a black list. All right. Babylon and the EU and the NATO nations saying that we ain't bringing enough money, we ain't bringing enough cotton, all right, we ain't paying enough taxes onto them, so they're getting ready to put us on the blacklist and increase our taxes until we could bring that to them. So what Brave trying to do is he trying to get ahead of the situation right now. Our prime minister, he trying to get ahead of the situation right now, all right, just tell the people why we on that blacklist, all right, but yet still they saying that tourism is up, the economy is doing well, the hotels are full, you know what I mean? But yet still, this is happening to us because guess what? We subject unto payments, unto Babylon. That's why. You see they saying? So let me get another. Let me get one more precept, or two more precepts. So like I said, all our leaders are hirelings, man. You know what I mean? They basically mercenaries for hire. You understand? They mercenaries for hire unto Esau. They play like they for the people, all right, but they ain't get the people best interest at heart. You know what I mean? John 10 and 12 say, but he that is an hireling and not the shepherd, whose own the sheep are not, seeth the wolf coming. All right, they see the EU nations, they see the NATO nations. All right, they see Esau coming. Our leaders, so-called leaders, the prime ministers and the government bodies. All right, they see Esau coming. All right. You take it again. It says, but he that is an hireling and not the shepherd, whose own the sheep are not, seeth the wolf coming, and leaveth the sheep and fleeth. They taking the bag. You know what I mean? They taking the bag. They taking the money. Just continue to tax or keep your foot on the neck of the people. All right? And we can continue getting this money. You just make sure things in order here. We leaving you in charge. You just make sure things in order. All right? And keep on taxing these people and keep on making it hard. All right? For Israel. It reads, and leaveth the sheep and fleeth, and when the wolf catcheth them, they scattereth the sheep. All right? That's why we suffering now. You know what I mean? As a people, but guess what? We suffering now through the cases. You know what I mean? The most I said it was gonna be like that. You know what I mean? Because all this soon over, you know. All this soon be done. You know? Through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. All this soon be over and done with. Esau time is drawing nigh. You understand? This has to happen, all right, for prophecy to be fulfilled. Okay? This is the book of Baruch, chapter 3 and 8. It says that, behold, we are yet this day in our captivity. We still in our captivity. We still waiting from hand them out. We still subject unto payments. We still getting taxed. We still getting oppressed, right? Where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse. All right, like I said, we scattered everywhere and we look like everybody because this thing don't go with skin color or looks. Anywhere where Israel is, all right, you see the poor and the desolate of society, chances are they are Jake, all right, they under the curses, all right, only for a certain period of time because we got next, all right, our kingdom soon be established, all right. It says, behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject unto payments. All right? Subject unto payments. All right? That's what we are, subject unto payments unto Esau. According to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our power. All right? So we under the curses. You understand? But like I say, this soon be over. You know what I mean? To worry how about Shimmy was shy speeding things up. All right. We see famine. We see earthquakes in diverse places. We see wars and rumors of wars. We see pestilences happening. All right. We see the mandatory implementation of the RFID microchip is coming. All right. So guess what? Be soon out of here, Israel. This is the time now to repent and get right with Yahweh, but Hashem Yahushai, well, the doors of mercy are still open. You know what I mean? We got to suffer, we got to endure until the end. You know what I mean? We can't fall weak now, can't let give your hand go to the plow now. Okay? We must endure to the end. You know what I mean? Yeah, well, Lord's willing, I hope this lesson was edifying and served this purpose, which is help to build the spiritual tabernacle of King David. Lord's willing, this lesson was edifying. All right? Until we meet again, this is Brother Kazawan signing off. Shalom and Ban-Yasharahla.